down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
All right, so my homie had like 5 questions on there. Oh, first of all, hey, my name is Stephen Van Callenberg. This is Savvy Radio Show. Bing, bing, boom, boom. That's how we do. And I'm going to, finally somebody heard my cry to say I need someone to love on me and interact with me. Say, hey, we're friends. I know you're struggling, Fat Boy Van Callenberg, trying to lose weight, and I'm struggling because I got to deal with a dumpster. So now you got to deal with a dumpster, try to help my homie, and then he emailed me about 4 questions. So we're going to rock these questions as fast as possible. And they're all over the place. So we'll just start here with finding good help for reasonable prices. Great question. And all questions are great questions. Seriously, I say it's a great question because it is. Because how do you find good people? Well, you little arrogant, savvy person on the other side of this radio, ask somebody. It's not that easy, because if you ask a savvy real estate investor, he's not going to give you the guy that he has because he doesn't want to lose him. And it's just honest, because every time I refer somebody, I usually get burned on it in one form or fashion. So I do refer someone, it's like a legitimate company, but then sometimes that legitimate company may do them wrong because they have bad staff, and you should address that situation. But how do I, Van Callenberg, bro, homie, you down? How do you find reasonable people? Workers. Well, here's some tricks of the trade. Go on Facebook and type, I need a contractor for this specific service. I need help. Say the word help. I need help. I'm tiling a bathroom. Does anybody know a good tile layer? Now, all the dumb people that paid $4 a square foot to tile their home are going to throw it up there, right? Oh, I use Sally's service, and yeah. Okay, you can pretty qualify those people real fast, someone will throw up someone that they use, and you can click on their button. The person, always look at their character, where'd they come from. If someone asks me for a referral and they know I'm in real estate, it's pretty much a savvy thing. Like, it's probably a concrete, pretty lead. Okay, for example, I just had a meeting with a real estate investor, and he showed me this book. It's changing his life. I didn't even question him. I ordered it. What you should do is put it up there and call 3 people and call them. This is what I did. I sent a text message out on my text blast, and I got ton of people replied back. I called one guy within 1 hour. He went over there and looked at it. And I still have, he said he was going to give me a price, but it's been 24 hours. He hasn't done it. And then I had another one, and I sent another guy, and he was there today. It was the power of networking. That's the easiest way to find it. If you really get intimate with people, you find out what they're paying them. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Never hired skilled people to do unskilled work. Let me repeat that. Don't hire skilled people to do unskilled work. You hired unskilled people to do unskilled work. You hire skilled people, to do skilled work. If you really want to know more about hiring contractors, buy my book or listen to the audiobook, Hiring Contractors. I break this off hard, but I don't even have my skilled guys clean up. I have a $10 an hour, $8 an hour guy come in and clean houses behind somebody. If you're going to charge me $80 an hour to do plumbing, I don't say this, but I don't yell at them if they don't clean it up. It's a fair price. So make sure don't try to hire a handyman to do a plumbing job. Now, here's the question. How do you find them? How do you find good help? Go to Home Depot, ask the people behind the counter, who's the guy that comes in here all the time? If you want to know, go to Home Depot at 6 in the morning. Any idiot that shows up after 8 is a guy you don't want to hire. Simple. Successful people are up at 6, 7, okay? 7 o'clock is when real contractors are working. Yeah, they're a little fuzzy. They got coffee. Hang out at the coffee thing. If you go to work at 8, trust me, tomorrow, get off the couch. Don't be drinking your coffee there. Go drink coffee and connect with somebody and find someone. Go to Sherwin-Williams, who's the painter that you're using? I found an awesome painter standing in Sherwin-Williams. It was a Hispanic guy. He's been working for me for years. Now, how else do I find him? Well, my main thing is Craigslist, and I don't know if that's still working, but I post an ad on Craigslist. I got to go through Mick and Meyer, and then I test them, and then now they've become working for me exclusively. You can call another real estate investor, someone, if you can't give, then you shouldn't receive. So if you call me up and I don't know you and you're going to ask me for somebody, I probably will not give you my top guy. But in my book, I talk about 5 deep, 10 deep is if you want to be animal. I have 3 heat and air guys. I can give you a phone number right now. I have a number 1 guy, I have a number 2 guy, and I have a number 3 guy. If you call me and it's 100-degree weather, I know a guy that's going to jump out there and he's going to do good service and he's going to have a good price, and you're going to call me and you're going to say, wow, Van Kallenberg, thank you for that real amazing referral. Now, that's not my number 1 guy. That's my number 2 guy. My number 1 guy, he's incredible too, right? But I'm so deep, I can refer people. That's how you should be. You should be that deep inside. You never want to just have one heat and air guy because you're going to get burned, because that guy's not going to be there for you. And I've learned my lesson the hard way, where I love the guy's service and I'm servicing him out. And the next thing you know, that same trash guy that I use, every freaking real estate investor uses my trash guy. And it's very frustrating because now his rates have gone up. He's busy. And of course he's loyal to me because he knows and he's smart, and I educated him that I'm going to be referring you, but don't forget me. Keep my prices on lock. I don't care, and you got to build a relationship with people. That's what you need to do. You can find them at tech schools, okay? At heat and air places, post an ad. At colleges. You'd be surprised. I bought something off Craigslist the other day. The guy was a contractor, like working for another contractor. And I was like, hey, do you do side work? What I'm trying to say is always be on the swivel, my nizzle. Always be paying attention. Ask people, do you know anybody? It's just like private money. Do you know anybody that invests in real estate? I sell houses. If you're, and keep a spreadsheet in Google Drive. I'm telling you, the other day I was looking through the Gazette. That's a local weekly paper here. And I was at lunch with some friends and I was just flipping through it. And on the back, they have a, directory of sorts. I'm like, well, first of all, if someone's going to advertise in there, they've got to be somewhat reputable. But one number stuck out. It was Dave's Appliances. Now, I use Jerry, and if you know me, everybody, I give you out Jerry's number because he's older. He's effing loyal to me. We're peeps. I keep that dude pimping busy. Now, he knows I refer him, and he hooks me up. He gives me free delivery sometimes. Now, I like Jerry. Jerry's a homie. Now, Jerry's kind of getting, I don't know how his health is holding up. I'm not going to say size, weight. I'm not going to say anything, but what I'm saying is, I don't know how long Jerry's going to live. I got to start thinking about the next appliance guy behind him. And I buy all my appliances through Jerry. And guess what? Jerry does not have the refrigerators that I need right now. I need a backup. So when I was flipping through the Gazette, guess what I found? Dave's Appliances. I emailed my office, put this in our vendor. And it was so awesome. My staff down there, they replied right back, we need to get him in the office and to give him a 1099. I was like, yeah, girl, that's how it is. You got to get him a 1099, but we haven't hired them yet. This is just someone that we may need. A rule of thumb, if you listen to yesterday's episode about money, you should always borrow money when you don't need it or give the illusion that you don't need it. You should always be looking for a contractor when you don't need one and be ready to write it down when you need one. Let's just say the other day I got a call, hey, homie, or text message, what's that public adjuster's phone number? And we had Storm 2000. Well, I know 3 public adjusters. Now, I'm going to refer my homie because he supports Investor Weekend, and I'm down with James Prather. Now, I've hired another, before I met James, I hired another public adjuster. Do I remember their name and number right now? No, but I can look through my emails and I can find another public adjuster, which gives me power to be strong in my business as a real estate investor. If James is busy, and I know James is expanding in Colorado, and I know he's having an office here in Oklahoma City and Colorado, One day James might be too large and he might move to LA and live the freaking Hollywood life. I'm going to call. I have another backup. Be empowered. Don't rely on one handyman. Handymans are everywhere. If you're real desperate, get a bandit sign. Hiring handyman. Call this number. You're going to blow up. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Is that out there? If you just thought, Van Kallenberg, I have a question, email me. All right. So continue on this other one. I don't know how I'm going to add it to all these podcasts because a question came to my mind. It is, what is reasonable prices? What do you pay people? Is that the price? Is that the amount? Right. Okay. Well, it's whatever you think is comfortable. I know that's a cliche, dumb answer, but here's my thing. $8 an hour, you're going to get crap work. $10 an hour, you're going to micromanage the guy. $12 an hour is kind of the sweet spot if you're managing them. Okay. If you're finding them on Craigslist, they're kind of still derelict-ish, meaning they may not have all the proper tools. Someone that is $15 an hour. Now I'm talking about Oklahoma City. So if you're in Chicago, add 10%, 20%. But here in Oklahoma City, $15 an hour, you can find a legitimate guy. You may have to lightly manage him, meaning you should always be on the job site. You should write out every detail of what the guy needs to do and work out a price. So let's talk about this price. Now, you, as a real estate investor, I've always been anti-bidding, right? And so now my time is extremely limited. Probably for the 15 years, I've been paying people by the hour. I got time sheets. I give them 1099s. We work at contracting agreements. We work at affidavits. We do all this stuff. Now, as I get older and less patience with people, and especially time on job sites, I prefer people to bid. But this is how I come up with the bid. I figure out I can be willing to pay somebody $15 an hour to paint that wall. I can go, okay, all right, to prep it, always an hour to prep, and then take down. So you got 2 hours, so that's $30. And then you got to paint it. How long would it take me to roll that thing? So 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 3 hours. Let's just say 5 hours total. So now 5 hours times 15. Hold on, I got a calculator because I'm in the, okay, $75. Now, an average to paint a room is $200 to $300. I pay $75 an hour. That's just how it is. That's what I pay. I pay $75. You got 10 rooms, I'm going to pay $750. I'm going to get a whole house done for $500. That's what I pay. That's what. Let me tell you. Let me break off doors for you, because people pay way out of control for doors. How much does it cost? First of all, go to homewise.com. HOMEWYSE.com. Put in your zip code and you can have a general idea what stuff costs. Now, I can sit here for 3 hours and tell you what everything costs. So I love this trick. This is how I pre-qualify contractors. How much do you charge to put in a door? $300. Thanks, buddy. Peace out. How much you put in a door? $150. We're going to talk. Do you know how much it costs to put a door in at Home Depot? That's probably where you should start. You're finding out your pricing. Because if you're going to go call someone random, you might as well have it backed by Home Depot. Now, the trick with Home Depot is it's $150, $200 to put in a door, but they don't equate trim. They upcharge you like a mother there. They're going to charge you $300 to $400 to put in a door. Okay. The contractors are going to charge them $250 and they're going to charge you $350. Okay. So that's a gauge. How much do I cost to pay a door? Let's just be nice and say $20 an hour. Okay. Okay. So let me get back to that one and then I'll get into the door. $15 an hour, you're going to manage the guy. $20 an hour, you don't need to think about the guy. $25 an hour, the guy's cleaning up after himself. He's got a legitimate truck. He should have insurance. He should have all his tools if you're going to pay by the hour. So let's just pay by the hour. How many hours does it take to put in a door? Well, if you're super skilled, maybe an hour and a half. Well, let's run the numbers. Here we go. 1, you have to take off the trim, 30, 40. First of all, you got to show up. 30 minutes to unload your dump truck. 30 minutes to get the crowbar out and get all the trim down. 1 hour in the deal. Pull the door. Set the door. Adjust the door. 2 hours. Put the trim back on. 3 hours. It's not 1 hour. You're on drugs. It's 3 hours. Okay? Now, that's where the $350 comes in. Now, you could pay, I pay $60 to put in a door. Well, wow, Van Kallenberg, how do I do that? Well, I have all my work organized and I work that dude to death. I say, how much do you want to make? I want to make $15. I want to make $20 an hour. Okay, buddy. Well, 40 hours times 20 is $800 a week. What can I get done? How many doors? How many windows? How many things? So I just run the math. Okay. He should have this house painted in 2 days. He should have the 2-3 doors put in. Okay. And then run your numbers. That's how I find reasonable work. That's how I always make money on construction. All right. So let's just, okay. First of all, another tip is you should have a painter paint and a trim carpenter trim, an electrician do electrician. Don't fail where I failed, where I got one number and then the guy's doing everything, unless it's minor, because he's not going to be a good painter. Hire a professional, not a professional company that's going to charge you $10,000 to paint a house, but hire someone that's going to do it properly. And that they know how to clean it up. They know the right drop cloths. You get a handyman in there, and he'll do everything for $4,000 for you, but he won't do it right. Unless it's a smoking deal, and you're willing to go behind him and clean it or correct the problem, then that's $10,000 worth for $4,000. Then I know that I have $1,000 in of stupidness. So you've got to figure that out on the front end. So this guy, what other questions? My homie's in the room. So what other question did you have? So you just need to stop being lazy and write down the number. You got it all spread out? Okay. Well, then I'll just look at your numbers and you got to see of what it's worth. So if they quoted you $4,000, that's why I don't worry about, I rather prefer bid. If he's going to willing to do something for $4,000, in my mind, when I added it up on an hourly, I know he's going to burn out. He's going to burn me. Because no one can work for free and no one can work for $3. A lot of problem with contractors is that they don't know how to budget their time. They don't know how to do adequate bids. And then they get down to it and they did, $4,000 worth of work. There's still another $1,000 work to be done. And they leave the job and you're pissed off because they didn't bid it right. So if it's just a $10,000 job, in my mind, I'm just throwing up fake numbers. Like, I know that to do this house is 10 G's and some young guy quotes me 10, quotes me 4. Okay, buddy, do it. And this just happened to me with the floor upstairs. It worked out actually really well. But let me give you an example there. But so if he quotes me 4,000 and then I know he's going to struggle, and sometimes he might say, hey, it was more work than I thought, I might kick him a couple more $100 to a certain degree. And then eventually I will say, hey man, let's just part ways. I'll put another 1,000 on it with another guy behind him and I got it done for half price. But I'm just giving you some fake scale numbers, but you can do that with 1,000. Laying tile. Here, I got 2 examples. Laying tile. So I got this house. I was a partnership with somebody. And we had to remodel it, and it was in the war zone, and it was like, we're going to it was nice wood floor, but it needed to be refinished. Some of it needed to be cut up. And I was like, if we put carpet in here, I know they're going to jack it up. And so I just knew this was in the war zone. So this is one of my very first houses, not first houses ownership. First houses, I was like, we're going to tile the whole damn thing. I'm like, oh God. And it was maybe a 1,200 square foot house. And, what I learned from a great friend of mine, you give them a price, you do it or you don't. But you've got to know what that price is. So I can remember that I got like $1,000 bid for that tile. Now that's about right. It was 1,000 square foot for $1. It was 1,000 square foot, $1. This is pretty average for our world. At Home Depot, it's $2.50, $3. Skilled guys are $3. Some people pay $4 or $5. They're dumb. But let's just say $1 is good. What did I pay? 60 cents a square. Okay. How did I do that? Well, number one, I had 2 guys bid me. One was 1,100, one was 1,000. The 1,100 guy would not come down. He was somewhat professional. I didn't like him anyway. He had a bad attitude. Peace out, punk. The other dude, I've worked with him before, but he does kind of sketchy work. And I was like, man, bro, I don't want to say his name, but I was like, I don't want to say his name, but bro, I was like, listen, this should only take you 3 days to do this. Drop the Wonder Board or whatever the freak is called, the backer board, and then lay the tile and then come back and tile it. It should take you 3 days, maybe 4 days. That's 1 week of labor. See, now I'm on the blue collar level. We pay people $500 a week. I'll give you $6. Do you want the job? And he did it for $6. Was it awesome? No. Did it look good to the naked eye? Sure. I'm a contractor. I would never have that guy do a job for somebody else. Did I flip that property? Sure, I sold it. Okay, that's one. Here's another one. And I actually tried to call you back the other day and give you this guy's number. And then we got busy. Got a young kid that's just graduated high school. He's only been out of school for a year. He's waiting for the military. His dad was kind of handy. He grew up on a farm. Now, this Oklahoma, I don't know if you find this anywhere else. Kid's in between jobs. Doesn't know a lot, okay? His dad was a handyman. His dad was somewhat of a contractor. His dad taught him stuff. Well, his dad showed him how to put in laminate floor. And he was looking for a job. Well, he did 1,000 square foot for less than 50 cents a square. Now, it took him longer. It took him 7 days, which it should take 2 days. But I wasn't really in a hurry. But I called the flooring company. They were going to charge me $1.50 a foot to install laminate, which I thought was high in itself. But it's easy to unload. The kid took a little bit longer, and I don't want to tell him how much I paid because I'm on the radio, but it was lower than 50 cents a square. So I made $1,000 on that transaction because I had to get the floor done, and I worked out a deal with the dad. The dad didn't mind. The son got a large check, in the $400-something range. He was happy, more money than he's ever made. Sad, but true. And now he knows how to lay floor. He learned on my dollar. A lot of contractors that I have throughout the years, they've learned on my dollar. They've learned, they burn me, they disappear, they start working for other investors on my dollar because I trained them. It's just the nature of the beast. But that's how I look at it. I factor in what it's really going to cost if I'm going to go to HomeWise or Home Depot. And at my level and stage, I don't want to mess around anymore. If I have a full-time job, I'm going to pay a little bit more money. I'm going to find a reputable company within reason. I'm definitely going to get 3 bids, and I'm going to get it done. Savvy Radio Show.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.